We live. So basically, guys, this stream has been a long time coming for the stream. Like the community, man. Like I know ever since like 2010, 2009, there's been problems or whatever in the community, but this is a problem right here. This is the Naruto
the community, you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This Naruto discussion is definitely a problem. I want to know, where did Naruto go bad for people? Because I'm assuming it's when the war started. Because since the war started, everybody dropped Naruto or said it's whack, it's not the same, or whatever the case may be. So obviously, Unexpected is gonna be the first one to go. I want to hear what you think. What's your side?
The non.
Well, all right. Let me go first then.
Yeah, let you go first because mine's gonna be long.
Let me explain. I do enjoy Naruto. It's the series. It's like one of the, well, not the first series, but it's the series that I've watched before One Piece and everything. So it's the series I've been consistent on lately. And I've noticed the problems. It's one thing to not notice problems in Naruto and think that it's holy. That's one thing. But I noticed the problems, but I don't see why people drop the series. Like certain things that they claim they're supposed to be happening, like, oh, no one died in the war, but the intentions weren't for anyone to die, if you think about it. So I don't understand what's the major problems.
First of all, but anyways, it shouldn't have been called a war. I know it should have been called a war. Let's be real. Come on.
But the intentions weren't for a war to even happen. But that we'll get into that later. But I think that at some points Kishi contradicted himself, and I don't know if this was established. No, but he did contradict himself, like in like latest chapters, like around 50 chapters ago and stuff like that, continuing on. But I don't see why people drop the series. To me, Naruto is still fine. To me, I see the problems, but it's still fine. So that's just my part.
It's gotten better as of late, ever since Madara became, well, Madara took over from Obito. But anyways, that's
and I don't like the contradiction of people. Like if Madara does something, it's like this holy thing. Like, oh, Madara's nice, but if a different character shows up and does the same thing, like Naruto, he comes now with Jesus.
That's called fanboyism. But
yeah,
hashtag Naruto. I mean, I jokingly say that, but see, that the only reason I say that, and to your point about it, is because Kishimoto should have explained some junk. Like, if he explains something, I just want him to explain it.
What with the Naruto Jesus, man?
Okay. Yeah, like his healing capabilities, because he doesn't have the Jubi, he doesn't have the full Sage or Six Paths power. So I just want an explanation, and I think we're starting to get it, because he's still gonna die apparently, according to, I think, what Sakura said it in this recent chapter.
I thought he said I'm beyond saving or something like that.
Yeah, either he or Sakura
said a few chapters ago.
Yeah. He said I'm and he thought he's surprised he wasn't dead himself, but yeah, I mean, so he's gonna die soon anyway, so I'm fine with that as long as the junk is explained. Okay.
Yeah. My thing is with, I don't know which one is the bigger problem with what people have to say about Naruto, whether it's the whole Obito situation or they say this war was not planned by you. First off, let me give writers everywhere, especially weekly writers. I give weekly writers way more credit than I do monthly writers. The fact that they have to do what they do in a matter of a week, I can never do that, bro. Even if I knew how to draw it, bro, I don't understand. Well, maybe that's a different story, because if I knew how to draw, then maybe I could. But
I could do it, but it's tough, bro. It's grind. I respect Kubo, Kishimoto, all of them, even though I get critical, but that's because of the story, not because of their artwork. Let me make that clear.
But just all around, when people sit there and say like this arc wasn't planned for, and I'm saying, how can he just go off a whim on this? How is that even possible?
It's been planned for since like not the beginning, but ever since the whole Uchiha Itachi versus Uchiha Sasuke thing. To me, this was the path was headed down. I mean, this was obvious. Come on, people.
Yeah, like he even if some stuff he threw in there was like kind of iffy that people don't like, that's fine. But you can't just pull a whole arc out of your hat, bro. Just on a whim, bro. Like that's not even possible.
He would be beast if he could, though.
Yeah, that would be nice, though. He'd have to be the greatest writer ever, bro. But like,
you know what? Let's do a war here. Like,
yeah, let's just throw in a war. See, I think the reason they called it a war, and I heard y'all say it really shouldn't have been called a war. I think the reason they called it a war was because this is supposed to be the end all be all. The only way he was going to draw out the 9 tails and 8 tails was through a war. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No. I'm saying the actual technical thing is not a war. I've always been saying that from the beginning. Why, like, not just the manga. I'm just saying, why did people, the fandom, refer to it as a war? Because mostly the ideologies weren't conflicting. You had about what? 3, 4, 5 people. I mean, main people. I ain't talking about some, other tertiary people. I mean, you had what? Madara, Obito, Kabuto. That, to me, those were the 3. Those were the 3.
Even with that, though, let's be 100% clear, bro. It was a war for the first half. That first day, that was a war.
I was about to say that. There was a literal war.
Was a war.
I ain't fronting about
wiped out. Like,
for that. But from that point on, after day 1 or whatever,
it really wasn't considered. I don't think it was considered. They still saw it as a war because they had to stop Obito. But Obito himself, it's kind of like you saw he was really trying to get answers out of Naruto because he knew that was what he was, and he wanted to see where his path ventured off from, and what the same thing happened to Naruto. That's why he was pushing Naruto so much. But I don't mind. I mean, the whole thing about not liking something, that's perfectly fine because you don't have to like something. Like, I like the Chimera Ant arc, but it's not one of my favorites. You know what I'm saying?
It's my second favorite. I said the greatest written arc of in fiction history, but that's a whole different story.
Yeah. That I just use an example. Like it, even though it's praise, I like it, but it's not the same with if you don't like something, you just don't like it. I can't like say like, man, shut up, you don't like it. You know.
Yeah.
But if you spout something and I can destroy that with facts, then I'm gonna do it. If I'm a fanboy, I'm a fanboy. But at least I'm bringing facts. You know what I'm saying? Like,
not liking it is one, but your reasoning.
Yeah, reasoning. Yeah.
Naruto is Jesus now. That's why I don't like the show anymore. Like I don't understand.
I mean, it's been building that. See, I always go back to that for versus Neji. People can say what they want, but I just recently rewatched Uchiha Itachi versus Uchiha Sasuke, Neji versus Hinata, in the kind of spar pre-tuning exam where Rock Lee put that beat down at behind whooping on Naruto and Sasuke. And when you watch, he did. Let's be real. When you watch Neji, hold on, that I still say the worst usage of Deus Ex Machina in history because Neji had him beat. And for me, if Neji would have beat him, and Neji wasn't totally wrong in his ideology, by the way, but if he would have beat him, to me, it would have enhanced Naruto as a character. It would have been a turning point because he had that whole believe it thing. Could have gotten Hinata killed, first of all. Let's be real.
But
so,
go ahead. And you saying that though, right. I don't say like I know none of y'all are saying this, but I just hear people say I think it was stupid how it happened, but it wasn't actually flawed because we know the Nine-Tails chakra is though chakra all comes from the same place, the Nine-Tails chakra is dummy strong, so I can understand that. But in the same sense, I'm with you. I'm like, yo, like he should have took an L. But then we gotta look on the flip side. Then him surpassing Destiny would have been destroyed right there. You know what I'm saying? Like that whole notion would have been destroyed if he would have took an L right there. So it's wishy-washy with me.
I mean, that never was it. See, people thought that hard work. First of all, Rock Lee was always about the hard work. I thought that was day one obvious, not Naruto. And when I look at it, that whole Naruto overcoming destiny, I never bought into that. Because if you go back to chapter 1, and y'all say where I had the problem, I have mixed feelings and mixed thoughts about Naruto throughout the series. Like, I'm not a fan, but I do enjoy a lot of the elements that Kishimoto brings, a lot of the concepts. You know, I could go into different ones. But when I go back to chapter 1, okay, I go back to the beginning, and I see how it transpired. It was BS to me. The way that Naruto got his, you know, go-to jutsu, which he even used in this recent chapter, his Kagubushin, the shadow clones. It was, you knew something was up from chapter 1. If you go back and read it analytically, he learned this jutsu after not being able to form apparently clones. In half a night, he's able to form hundreds, if not thousands.
I think you're missing it, bro. What he was doing in the test, that wasn't the same as a shadow clone. What he was doing for the test that he couldn't pass, it to me it looked like he was it was like a transformation jutsu. Like, cause remember he had to turn into, what was it, either Ruka or the third Hokage?
I thought no. I remember the beginning of the chapter, he couldn't make a clone because they just asked him to make a clone of himself. He couldn't make a clone.
Oh yeah, the little dummy clone that mother was on the ground.
All of a sudden he's able to make.
but then he practiced all night though.
But all I'm saying is, how do you go from not being able to form much? That's just like, I look at it like this. Me not being able to make a layup to all of a sudden in one night me able to drain threes. Like, wait, what? Like,
he also said,
wait.
He also told him, though, he said, I worked hard all night, which would imply, from the statement he said, it would imply that he never really worked on his clones. He didn't really care. He was just a troublemaker. But at that time, he was like, all right, if I do this, then I get acknowledged, you know. And
right.
The whole, I know you're not like going against how many he used, because once you get one down, it should be simple, especially with his reserves of chakra.
Right.
But I see what you're saying though, with him first using it.
What Dre said is true though, because in the series of Naruto, he acted the way people was expecting him to act, which is being a troublemaker.
Right.
And that's what he could do to get their attention. So that's what he was doing in the beginning of the series. So that hard work aspect wasn't really in his life. So when he got to the school or whatever, that he wasn't acting that way. So that shadow clone thing was the first thing he had to really work on to like establish his ninja way or whatever. So he didn't work hard to do shadow clones. So he had to in order to perfect it.
Yeah.
See, but that just shows. Let me debunk this myth. What y'all just presented is beautiful, and I agree completely. But at the same time, let's be real. This just debunks his whole myth about him about the hard work. That's his thing, right? It shows he had to have some level of genius. I'm not saying he's a genius, but in the way that Naruto had presented genius, he has to be. Because you just don't learn something that fast. It was supposedly a forbidden jutsu, right? That's what it was. So how do you learn something that fast? That's what I'm saying.
But
that just debunks that whole hard work thing.
It's not a level of genius. He could do a shadow clone. It was just a matter of it wasn't effective. Like, it was laying on the ground. Like, he wasn't able to create a perfect shadow clone. He knew the basis of making one. He just couldn't perfect it. So I see what you're saying. That was always crazy to me though. Like, it was in Hashirama. He sealed it away. Like, he sealed that scroll away, bro.
While we're on this subject, I want to bring in this theory that people had ever since the last couple chapters, and this kind of correlates to One Piece, but it's about Naruto. And since we're talking about hard work, people felt as if because of his quote-unquote destiny thing, that negates everything he ever did. And all the stuff that he did in the past was down the road to becoming where he is now. And I don't agree with that. Because even in One Piece, just if in fact only the D's could find the One Piece, or if in fact it is destiny for Luffy to do it, even if that is true, does that mean that what he's doing currently what if he changes his destiny? Can't you do that? Like how does what he's doing right now just get negated because quote unquote there's a destiny?
I'm in the middle, Ed. I mean, we had this. I know Firefist remembers. We had this long conversation about the difference between the fate presented in One Piece and the fate with Naruto, and I'm in the middle. I understand the side that says it's negated, kind of, to the point when I say the mythology behind his hard work is negated, okay? But at the same time, I understand the side that said it's not negated because you do got to put in that work to get to where you're at.
Yeah, you can't just sit on your ass and then just become the sage. Like, it doesn't work that way.
But here's the problem. Here's the problem. It's how it's done. Execution, especially in fiction, is pivotal. The difference between One Piece and Naruto is very simple. Luffy, although he trains and although he, progressively gets more powerful, there's the death. Like he keeps taking L's. Like people have a problem. I don't mind it. He keeps taking L's to superior opponents.
Luffy doesn't train. Okay.
Yes, he does.
No, he only trained one time. Well, he trained 2 times. One when he was little to use his devil fruit, and then with Haki. Like outside of that, year second, all these other moves. Nah, he was just making shit up on the fly.
That part goes with Luffy being a genius fighter.
Yeah,
because he didn't learn any of those moves.
Right, he's a fighting genius. But he also, you can say, battles, battle experience. So for me, in the world that they live, battle experience, because he's not the only character. It's like battle experience makes them more powerful. I mean, Sanji never trains. Let's be real. Come on. Sanji never trains.
Zoro's the only consistent trainer in the show.
Yeah. So, you can take that for what it's worth in the world. But, Luffy is it's the struggle. With Naruto, on the other hand, it's like, yes, he achieved this, but then he was just given this power up. He took that massive L to a blind Madara. Madara had no eyes. He gets the power up from the Sage of Six Paths, and now he's on this certain level, dog. Or he can fight a goddess.
Is Naruto the only character that got a power up?
What'd you say?
Is Naruto the only character that got a power up?
No, he's not the only one. With Sasuke is interesting. I'm not trying to, he got the power up too. For one, from my perspective, and it's just me, you could say, it was more logical because it was just the eye. I don't know. Like, it made sense because Naruto's the body, but Sasuke's, it was just an upgraded eye. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's what happened. Did his body enhance as well? I don't know.
That goes along with the sage's body and the eye. Like, he gave the eyes to the older son, the body to the younger son. My thing with that whole it debunks his hard work. First off, whoever says that is an idiot. Right. Because if you say it debunks him working hard, I know you just said Rock Lee is really the embodiment of hard work, but everybody that says that needs to actually sit back. Rock Lee is a hard worker. Neji's a hard worker too, but Hinata's a hard worker too. We saw her and Neji train.
Sasuke's a hard worker. A lot of cats work hard in Naruto.
We can't sit here and say Naruto doesn't work hard. What hasn't Naruto worked for? What hasn't he worked for?
There was a time skip. There was a time skip with him just training. Like,
although
I don't understand the whole series he's been training.
I was just about to say that, bro. Everything Naruto has right now, he's worked for everything outside of this whole sage power, but that comes from Indra picking him. No, Ashita picking him as the next person to keep the whatever it is, the destiny thing alive. He's worked for Rasen. He's worked hard for Rasen. I remember that arc, the legendary signing arc, bro. He was working all 2 weeks straight for that jutsu. Shadow Clones, he worked that night. He worked during the entire time skip. Rasen Shuriken, the only person to know how to mix his element with another jutsu. He worked hard for that. He worked weeks for that. Sage mode, he worked hard for that. QB mode, he worked hard for that. Bijou mode, you don't need to work for that because obviously it's just a link between you and the tail beast. But he did work hard because Kurama acknowledged him for all the hard work he did in the past. He was like, let me see that one more time. The hard worker you are. Don't give up. Let me see that just one more time. And that's when he trusted him. Like, there's never been an instance where Naruto has not worked for something. Everything he's been through since his past, that led him up to where he's at now, to where he could get the power from the sage.
Correct. My thing about Naruto, and I've said this, you know, part of it. I mean, I'll go on this one. I've said Sasuke, Gaara, Rock Lee, or Neji would have been better protagonists. For me, it's how Kishimoto has presented Naruto at a lot of times. Okay, yeah. And the fact, and I've talked to you about this, Fire Fist, a lot about how Naruto should have had, I say, at least two chakra natures, and more jutsu, like more skill with the jutsus. I think it should have happened later. I don't think he should have been 16 years old. There's a lot of problems with these things.
Well,
okay?
let me ask you this though. How'd you feel about Gon?
How'd I feel about what?
How'd you feel about Gon and Killua?
I'm glad. Oh, I've said as many times that Gon needed a 5-year time skip.
What about Killua though? How'd you feel about his power-ups?
What'd you say?
How'd you feel about their power-ups?
They train, but at the same time, they're not beating a top tier. That's just what it is. They're not beating a top tier. Kurapika for them.
We know Shinobi are dope when they're young. This not like it's just something new with Naruto and Sasuke.
Right.
Shinobi have come up all the time. Minato, Itachi, Madara, his brother.
I've had a problem. I mean, I have a problem with that, but you know, that's a deeper issue.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Oh, deep. Because Itachi, and part of the thing is, here's what it leads to. Minato the same way. Every single, like, not every single one. Madara. Well, actually, no, true. It is true. Those who have come up early have met a young death. Is that wrong?
Well, we don't know what happened. First off, Hashirama dying in some part of war. Like,
that's questionable, though. It's hell, dog. Come on, man.
I just don't understand how he could die, and like I don't
that's
know.
why I said Tobirama and him, I believe, took out Madara. He came out pretty much unfazed, and there was a QB. Like, come on, dog. Damn. Nah, dog. Nah, man. I ain't buying that. He alone. He soloed Madara. I ain't buying that, dog.
Well, just to the original, you know, why people like, when did Naruto get bad? My thing is, I think we all have different ways of how we view anime and manga. Me personally, I view it first and foremost because I enjoy it. Second off, then I go back and I say, oh, well, this, like, cause I know I keep bringing up Hunter x Hunter, but like the whole thing with Gon when he started tripping and like got big and stuff like that, I was hype at that time. But then after logically thinking about it, I was like, yo, this is stupid, bro. Like,
I already called his immaturity out plenty of times. Even when I saw that, witnessed it, I'm like, wait. Well, 130, I was saying he was immature, dog. I'm like, no, dog. This is like afterwards. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. But yeah, he was immature as hell. He shouldn't have been in that mission. He could have easily got himself and everybody else killed. No.
Yeah. I
cool.
I enjoy it first. Some people, I don't care why you make videos about like certain series. Like if you're just doing it for money, it's cool. Like if that's what you want to do, it's your time. You know what I'm saying? I don't put too much stock in people that sit there and spout blasphemy. Like it's constantly now. Obito should be dead. Let's be real.
I say that for multiple reasons, but you know, it is.
I hear what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I understand it.
They say the same two things: extraction of Ten Tails, Rene Tensei, and it's like both of those were clearly explained. Maybe you just didn't want to Maybe you just didn't want to read the chapters, but it was explained why this man is still alive. And first off, Black Zetsu made the mistake because obviously he was keeping Obito alive. The whole extraction thing is easily dealt with. It was explained in the chapter after that. But why he was still alive after using Rene Tensei, number one, he still had the Jubi's husk inside of him. So that was obviously giving him still life force. And then it was extracted. The husk was extracted from him. That's when Black Zetsu had to keep him alive.
But I mean, why? And then after Black Zetsu left, okay, Black Zetsu's gone. He's somehow, and I know him and Madara were having conversation. He's able to stick his hand in Madara, like he's able to move around for like Kishimoto. That's one of the problems. I never understood that.
But
this dude should have been on death's door.
But remember though, he did lose consciousness, but that was explained why he would lose consciousness, because it was explained about the Sage of Six Paths, what happened when he was on he extracted the 10 tails out of him and split him up into the 9-tailed beast, that he was severely weakened to the point where he couldn't move for a while. Well, that's what happened with Obito, so he was losing consciousness. But the minute Black Zetsu took the 9 tails, the minute he put the 9 tails inside of him, Obito was obviously like not sucking like chakra from him, but he was feeding off of Black Zetsu. That's how Black Zetsu was keeping him alive. So he inadvertently was giving him 9 tails chakra, I assume, because and then him hitting Madara, I thought that was simple though, bro. Like Madara tried to hit him after the fact, and he was like, "Oh, so that's the true ability, that you have. I phased right through you, basically." I think that's what Obito did. He sent most of his body to the other dimension and just put his hand through Madara, and then after that, he started sucking the whatchamacallit, the tail beast from him, even though he couldn't take a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I get your explanation. I say for multiple reasons the dude should be dead, but
like, why do you think he should be dead though?
I mean, there's those those two things you dealt with, and I get the explanations, but I mean throughout the time, it's also from a story writing perspective, really. Not to because you dealt with those, and I'll leave it be. I understand that. But it's like, it's almost as if Kishimoto is kind of forcing him to be a redeemable character as well. And I mean, when you have a character like Neji die, and I'm not even a Neji fan at this time, mind you, it's like, wait. Neji, who should have been a rival, he gets killed in this certain way. We keep the Kages alive, even though they're like, we keep Tsunade alive, even though she's not really doing jack. We keep Obito alive. Like, we keep him alive in order for him to do something, and then make him redeemable and sacrifice and make him noble, even though he was not noble. It's like, it's very conflicting. I don't know. Y'all give me y'all thoughts on that. You give me your thoughts on that. The whole Obito situation about his position in the story. Because a lot of people have a lot of problem with Obito. His position. I don't think his character, but his position in the story.
I see what you're saying about the position. I see where people like venture off from him for that reason, but I think it's more so just as though we've seen characters, they were basically showing Obito's, I think his main position in the story was to show what Naruto could have been. I think that was the whole thing. That's what Naruto would have been if the roles switched, which goes back to what Naruto said. This could have easily, what he said to Sasuke, we could have easily switched roles. You could be the one trying to save me from everything, and I could be the one wanting to attack the village for everything they did to me and all this stuff. So I think Obito's main position was just showing that's what Naruto could have been like.
See, and I think one of the things is it should have. See, here's the issue. It should have been. And I'm not trying to say it should have been a Madara show. No. This conflict which we're in, like the whole thing about Obito should have come earlier. It should have. Okay, and for a lot of reasons.
Wait, what?
The whole him and if you're gonna have him and Naruto be like and to see the path that Naruto could have taken, I think if they not way earlier, but earlier, not in this war season. Like they should have had, you know how they fought before, and if it would have been revealed at that time during that battle, maybe the mask comes off or whatever. You know, when they fight, and then you have this whole conversation, kind of how on the Netero versus Miriam the King situation, and they have an exchange of dialogue as well as the battle. Okay, then we move on. We move to this conflict. We move to Madara, Kaguya, and whatever you want. I think it's the fact that it stalled, and you had two Ten-Tail Jinchuriki in the same conflict. Like it felt for a lot of people like stalling. Like it didn't belong at that time, which I can totally understand and agree with. It didn't belong. It was out of place.
Wait, so are you saying he should have never became the Ten-Tail Jinchuriki?
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. He shouldn't have became. I mean, maybe Madara shouldn't became. Okay, the Ten-Tail Jinchuriki. I mean, say what you.
Obito wasn't even supposed to be around this long. And that's not me saying that he should be like dead, because I don't have any feelings. I don't have any feelings towards Obito. Like I don't like him or dislike him. You know, like he's a cool character. But like the plan that was initially put in place was for Obito to bring back Madara, and I'm assuming Madara was gonna kill him after.
Right.
So, but Obito had this. He had his own. Like I know Madara sort of kind of manipulated him. Well, he did manipulate him as a child, but at the same time, he didn't go mindless. Obito still had his morals. He still had his views. He went on his own path without Madara's consent. Like even Black Zetsu mentioned it. He did his own stuff. The whole Uchiha, him helping the Uchiha, like everything, like almost all those things. The war, most of that stuff was just Obito doing Obito. Yep. He didn't really have to do any of that stuff. But at the same time, I don't give Obito all that fault, because just the way, like him, I like the ending between Naruto and Nagato's fight because of Naruto's answer, because that's what Obito was looking from Naruto. Like there was a certain point where he was just like if I do stop, what can you do to change the future? Because Nagato, Obito, and Madara both have good points. This is not gonna stop. It's gonna keep going. It's just human nature. You can't. There's no way Naruto is gonna carry the burden. I'm not saying that I agree with Infinite Tsukiyomi, because that's not the way to go. That's not the way to go about it. But it's just human nature. There's nothing you can do about it. That's how humans are gonna act. There's gonna be wars. I don't know, unless everybody's just satisfied. If everybody's satisfied, then yeah, it's probably gonna work out. But Nagato, Obito, and Madara are perfectly right with what they think, but the way they're going about it is wrong.
Yeah, it's wrong.
That's my point. That's where I differ from Obito and on all of them.
See, Madara, and I've made videos about it, and why I think Uchiha Madara, and this is why I say, this is why I have mixed thoughts and mixed views on Naruto as a series. You have characters like Madara, okay, and Madara, I love his ideology. I love what he represents, because he's like, screw this other, you know, everybody relates on me. He's a freak of nature character, similar to Frankenstein's monster, if you know the story. Mary Shelley, Frankenstein, and then Midora from Toriko. Okay, they're a product of their era and of their society. And so while Madara makes his choices, it's one of those, you can't really blame him because of all that's gone down. Yeah. And he was right. He predicted all this. So he was right. And so now, well, not entirely, but now he's at, what'd you say?
No, I was going to say, to what you just said, we learned that it wasn't his doing at all, bro. Right. Like Zetsu rewrote that whole thing, and that he knew he was just waiting for somebody to put that plan into fruition. So Madara thinking he was doing his own thing, yo, Black Zet, get out of here, Black Zetsu.
And I don't think it's over. I still think, because there's still questions and stuff, I still think Hamura, Hogoromo's brother, and Orochimaru have the rest of the answers. I'm telling people, man, because there's some holes that some stuff ain't making sense. Like, for example, the Byakugan. I'm still because I have a problem. Like, dudes disagree when I say at the end of the series is going to be the most OP hacks. I can understand because of what's been shown. But we've also had the Sharingan been build up. Then we had the Rinnegan and all its situation. But the Byakugan was one of the third grade eyes. It's the Hyuga clan was a great family. And I'm sorry, but when have we seen a legendary Hyuga? When have we really seen a master of the Byakugan? I'm being dead serious.
Well, I thought they deemed what's his name? Neji that.
I know, and Neji dies prematurely. You feel me?
Yeah.
Neji died at what, 16? I mean, I argue, and I throw this out here. A lot of dudes are mad. You know, they're like, no, how can you say that? I asked, with enough time and experience, could Neji have surpassed Itachi?
If only. See, you can't say that because Itachi isn't something you could just become. Itachi's his own, like, Itachi's like one of those special cases. You can't really become Itachi. It's like LeBron. Like, you can't. He just has that. He just has it. Like, you can't just. You could work to be like LeBron, but it's just something that Itachi had. Like, you can't.
No. I'm not saying work to become. I'm saying surpass. I didn't say work to become.
If the Byakugan has a different stage.
I believe it does. It should be evolved upon, honestly. Because right now, I mean, it's more or less hacks as it is, but it's really base compared to the Sharingan. Because you had the Mangekyo Sharingan, you had the EMS, and then the third eye is an evolution, or you can say they devolved from it. You had the Rinnegan as well.
Hey, I just want to say this to what you just said, bro.
Go ahead.
Neji's a monster. I think if he would have, just like many other characters, they would be easily top tier. My thing is this, bro. Along with Obito, Itachi, Minato, there's just certain characters that
pretty much most of the characters who died young have potential to be greats.
Yeah, but even with that, it's just certain characters I don't think you could. Minato has showcased the intellect, like his intellect is on a different level. Like, as far as he deduced, this dude modded his jutsu, that whole black orbs thing, like in the matter of seconds. He's been breaking down.
What'd you say about Neji? I'm sorry, Google kicked me out again.
Oh no, I was just saying, like, there's just certain characters. Itachi, like Ed was saying, there's characters that are special cases that they were nerfed because of what they could have been. Itachi, he didn't give Itachi that sickness for no reason. Just some over-the-top sickness that deteriorated his health and stamina.
Right.
He didn't make the third Hokage. He didn't.
See, the third is even a different situation from Itachi. And I know what you're about to go with the most powerful, and at this point, I'm totally in agreement. I don't see it any other way. With Itachi, though, it's one of those Mozart situations where they're savant. What'd you say?
I said Saratobi's a problem.
Oh, yeah. I mean, a savant. I think Itachi was a savant. And a lot of times, savants, they either die young or they're good in this one specific area. And Itachi, he was sick from a child, right?
He just got sick.
No?
They said it was sometime after the Uchiha Clan Massacre. That he developed some disease.
Obito. Obito or Orochimaru poison this dude. That doesn't sound, one of them long lasting things. Come on, dog.
That is true. I wouldn't be shocked.
It has to be. Because seriously though,
Orochimaru is a mastermind.
Come on, dog. One does not simply develop an incurable disease like right after an event like that. Come on.
Well, he said he was prolonging his life with meds, but they said he was like suffering immense. The fact that he was as close as blonde to without being blonde,
right?
And still wipe the floor with Sasuke.
Yeah, it was just. Sorry.
Oh yeah, that fight was straight beastly, dude.
Lower third, like this dude.
Even though Itachi dodged a quick death with Karin, but that's a different story. He's still a beast.
Yeah, you can't just casually. First off, yeah, get out of here. He ate Karin. Nah, you ain't eating Karin, bro. That's my favorite jutsu though. But either way it goes, bro. Yo, that mug is beast, cuz that man tamed lightning, bro. Hey, y'all think he was gonna use that when Naruto and them first found him in that hideout? And like he was standing up there.
That's why Orochimaru stopped him.
Yeah, because I think that's what he's about to do, bro.
Orochimaru grabbed his wrist like, chill, bro.
Yo, you ain't gotta do all that, bro. Like, he pulled out his biggest jutsu for no, like, get out of here, bro. But
it wasn't for no reason. I mean, it is Naruto. I would probably do that too.
He waxed them though, bro. Like, remember they both tried to grab him, Naruto inside, and he just used like Chidori string. Them cats was on the ground. Yo, they got fried, bro. My man Yamato got put a hole in his chest. I was like, yo, what is going on, bro?
Yo, like, man. I do want to mention something. This nigga Orochimaru, like,
thank you.
There's no way he's not. Yo, Kishi's not ending the series without ending. Like, do you know how much of a genius that Sarutobi battle? Like, that was a great fight. That's all I have to say. That was a great fight.
Yeah, that reminds me. I need to go back and watch that again. I need to go back and watch that.
That was a great fight.
Yeah, you go back and watch it.
And we need a backstory because Orochimaru is a big mystery in this show.
I'm telling you, this man, he is the. I don't know if it's the final villain or something, like, because you got the Naruto versus Sasuke conflict. But I'm telling you, this dude, I think he's going. First of all, I don't think he's caught an infant Tsukiyomi. This dude knows it all. This dude's knowledge, unlike Kakashi with these whole 1,000. No, I think this dude has knowledge. I think this dude's been biding his time and hasn't fully gone all out. Because I believe he's on the level of the 4 dead Hokages. I really do. Him and Itachi both. I really do.
Well, there was a lot of cats. I say Jiraiya was up there. I say Orochimaru.
Yeah. And who I think are all gonna come back, like be revived. I think Neji because of Byakugan. I think I don't know.
First of all, Jiraiya never died. Jiraiya never died.
Yeah, he's not dead. Yes, don't say that.
He's not being revived. He's not dead.
Orochimaru. Can Neji? I know because Neji got brought back. I mean not Neji. Itachi got brought back before. Could he be brought back again?
No.
I don't want him to, because then I'll be like, all right, dude, it's like your 3rd time. Like, get out of here, bro.
He's probably going to come back with a consonant buster jutsu.
They need to help they can get, dog. I'm being serious about Kaguya, because they need a squad to take her down.
You think Sasuke they're going to exhaust their power by bringing their sage power by bringing everybody back? Because think of it like this. Sasuke has the yin side, which he can create anything out of nothing.
He's the yang. He's the destroyer, I think.
No, Naruto's the yang, because yang is able to breathe life into anything.
Wait. Which one's darkness, yin or yang?
What's the one that Minato had? Yeah, yang. Naruto,
yang is darkness. That's Sasuke.
No. Because he's I remember they said Naruto was yang.
They switched up.
Because Yang is able to breathe life into anything. Because I remember when Obito was explaining it to Konan, the first one he said Yang is able to create anything out of nothing, and Yang is able to breathe life into it, or breathe life into something. You think they will exhaust their sage powers by bringing everybody back, bro? I think that'll be a dope way to get rid of that sage power. Because
either that or we got not exactly, because I don't want a copy situation. But I'm imagining kind of like that eye is gonna like Sasuke's not gonna be able to have an eye. Like I think it's a temporary thing. I don't think their bodies are developed enough to be able to handle it. And I think Naruto, I don't know what effect it's gonna have on it, because they can't handle like these demigod level powers, dog. Like no.
They're probably gonna die.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they died.
Like I'm expecting a final conflict, but years down the road, you feel me? Like if we don't see, you know, full like a you know how authors do a final time skip for an epilogue, and I'm thinking their ideologies, they're gonna both be having it, and they're just gonna come to a head. I still believe there's gonna be a final clash of ideologies because Sasuke, we don't know his full one, but he does not have the same ideology as Naruto, and one or both of them is gonna die.
No, Kishi already established it. When Naruto was next to Sasuke, he was like, I hate the way you think you're the boss of everything, or something. Like they already were having conflicts, even when they were cool.
Yeah. Sasuke, it's just a common enemy concept. I keep trying to tell people he never turned good. Please, even Orochimaru already said that. Like he's like
Sasuke was not bad or good.
Yeah, he's not bad or good. He just follows
depending on what your standard of good or bad is.
Yeah.
Either. I don't think he's morality.
See, this is what y'all weren't there last night, but me, Wild King, and Recon was trying to explain to my man. I think Eric was there, but we were trying to explain to my man Northside. No, Eric left at this time. We was trying to explain to Northside. He was basically like, yo, he was saying Orochimaru was tame, and I'm like, what are you trying to imply? He's not. No. I was asking him because the minute he said it, I was like, wait, what is he trying to imply? Like Orochimaru is not a good. Orochimaru is just going. Like
he's an point, and at best.
Yeah, and I asked him, bro. Right. I was like, wait, what are you trying to imply? He was like, yo, Orochimaru's tame. I was like, yo, the only reason they even doing this is because he already said why he's doing it. It'll mess up his experiments if Obito has his way. So he's gonna join in the fight.
Wait. This is let me bring into reality here or fiction. Let me bring because you brought a point. I would bring this up. It's the whole common enemy concept. Sasuke, we don't know what he's on. But Orochimaru, think about it. If the Joker was in the situation, because everybody know the Joker. The Joker often becomes an anti-villain. Look, you have this powerful foe. What the, that's gonna screw up everything.
Yeah.
Sorry, I gotta fight this dude too. I'm gonna help Batman, Superman, and whoever. In the same sense, that's exactly what Orochimaru is about, which is why I believe Orochimaru is gonna fight, and against Kaguya or whoever else arises.
I don't see him fighting Kaguya, but
is there someone else?
I've been saying this for forever, bro.
It's possible.
No box, bro.
He's gonna get destroyed if he goes against Kaguya.
Yeah, he's Kaguya.
Well, no, wait.
He may be smart, but he doesn't have the power to back it up.
Yeah.
Wait. But my thing with Orochimaru is, do we really know what he's fully capable of, though?
That's true, but still,
that's tell people. I'm telling you, this dude knows.
I'm just saying, I highly doubt this man has the power to beat or fight Kaguya. Like Naruto and Sasuke were struggling with her, and they have the power to do it. They know they can't beat her; they have to seal her.
My thing is, I'm thinking of a team effort. I'm not thinking him solo. I'm talking about with the four day Hokages. You got Naruto, Sasuke. You get Jiraiya back. You feel me? Possibly Rinne Tensei Neji. I'm talking about a collective effort, because this whole sealing thing, I ain't thinking it's gonna work. Even though it's saying that's what I don't see this happening, dog. Because I don't think
is she in her full power?
Is she trying? She ain't even trying, bro. Bro, like, she's holding back from killing Naruto, so it seems. Except she tried one attack. But for my thing with Kaguya and dudes had a problem with it switching from Madara. First of all, it's perfectly acceptable, and I actually like the way Kishimoto took it. For those who are not aware, I actually started reviewing it at that point. And the reasons for being is, first of all, they couldn't beat Madara. He was too good at fighting. With Kaguya, and I knew this would happen, because they said, Sasuke said she was powerful. I said she's powerful, but that doesn't mean she knows how to fight. That's key. Just because we were talking about this before we went live. Just because you got all this power, doesn't mean the genius can't take you down.
You see, let me ask you this, bro.
Okay.
I've heard numerous cats say this. In what instance have we seen that Madara is just this fighting genius?
My thing is with Madara's not being a fighting genius. Now, he's highly skilled. He thinks like
fighting in terms of what? Because no one could touch him in taijutsu.
Wait. In terms of taijutsu, where have we seen him?
He has used great taijutsu. Here's my thing though. Like, let me just give an example. He's clearly schooled Sasuke and Naruto without eyes. It's just like Kishimoto decides he wants to nerf him once he has a 10-tailed Jinchuriki. Like, he beat Hashirama with the Edo Tensei. He beat Tobirama. He beat Minato.
I wouldn't say he. See, my thing is this, bro.
That was taijutsu. He's not like
being a fighting genius doesn't make you like this almighty god character, though.
No, I understand that, but I don't see where his taijutsu is untouchable. He even said after he beat Tobirama, he told him like the gulf in our power is evident now, because maybe it's a blessing from the gods, but I have my real body now, and y'all don't. That's why y'all brothers can't bring out y'all true power.
Right. But yeah, that has.
In terms of being a genius, I think it's more so on an overall scale, like Itachi. Like he may not have the power that Madara have, but he's intellectually a genius, and he knows how to fight. I think that's pretty much what Madara is. Intellectually, he's smart as fuck, and he knows how to fight. Like it's just like I don't know like what level of genius he is over everybody else, but like right. To say that he's way smarter than Hashirama, but he is smart at combat, and he's intellectually smart at all the jutsus that he knows.
Right. And for me, Tobirama is like it gets really dicey in understanding if you understand martial arts, and maybe it's because I expect people to understand the martial arts from a fighting perspective. But with Hashirama, this dude is very skilled in certain jutsus, and I'm not saying he can't throw them hands. That's not what I'm saying. But he specializes. With Tobirama, he does specialize, but he has created a few. They both have very high fighting IQ, but with a dude like Madara, he's highly adaptable. He understands combat and stuff, and the fact that he can go with the likes of these two specialists, take that for what it's worth.
I mean, I'm still trying to understand. I don't understand in terms of fighting. What hasn't he done that like other characters have done? Like when you say he's a fighting genius, I get that. Like Kishi said, he was a fighting genius. Like, but in the same sense, I've seen Sasuke can throw hands in taijutsu. Itachi can throw hands in taijutsu. Naruto.
Hey, I ain't bring up taijutsu, but that's what Ed brought up. But I mean, that's part of it. Guy.
If we're gonna go off that filler episode, bro, like that mode was nice, but that didn't happen, bro. Like
the scene was Lord.
That was nice, but that didn't happen, bro. Like so that's why I'm trying.
I didn't mention that.
It was too.
I'm just saying that he's just good at taijutsu. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, for me, he got taijutsu, he got the ninjutsu. Is he rocking any genjutsu?
Besides the Sharingan, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think he has Suzuki.
The Sharingan is pretty much
Susan. Oh Lord, that's Susanoo. Oh no. But it's like here's I don't blame the character of Madara so much is that he got nerfed. Sarutobi got nerfed. Sarutobi, I'm now that I'm thinking about it, because I tend to along the way put characters in. I need to put Itachi in Fighting Genius as well, and I need to go ahead and put Haruzen and Sarutobi, because the more I think about them, I'm sorry, one does not simply master 5 styles and not be called a Fighting Genius. 5 chakra nature, dog. You don't have to specialize. Be mastered.
people were denying what Kishi was saying he couldn't have possibly mastered all the fighting styles and jutsu and stuff like that.
There has to be somebody. There has to be somebody too.
Like, that was just his way of saying, yes, he's a genius. He's the only guy without the Rinnegan to master all 5. Well, I don't know if he mastered all 5, but to be able to use all 5 chakra natures. He's the only guy, bro.
I'm sorry. If you're able to use all 5, generally you have to have at least a level of mastery that's legit, or else you wouldn't use them. That's just how it is. People, just because you can use something, you're not going to do it. It's like Minato with Sage Mode. Yeah, he could use Senjutsu, but he wasn't, you know, I ain't going to say it was trash with it, but, you know, it wasn't.
It didn't fit his fighting style because it took him so long to need the chakra. Like, his fighting style was basically get in, get out. It's over. Like,
so why would Hashirama be pulling out lightning, water, fire if he was really solid with wind and earth? I mean, come on, people, come on. Yeah. Let's stop. Let me go example another series, and I like to reference. And people are like, why do you take it outside the series? So that people can understand what I'm talking about. You have to use allusions and examples. Avatar Aang, okay? Before he went into the Avatar state versus Fire Lord Ozan, what did he do? He used, of course, his default is airbending. He's complete master of that. Earthbending, he actually was getting to the level of master. Firebending, he really didn't use because he didn't suck at it, but he wasn't that good. He wasn't that skilled. And waterbending, he only used a little bit. Okay? He don't really use what he ain't good at. You go to what you good at.
Yeah.
If you're a shooter and you don't know how to drive that well, what you gonna do? You gonna shoot. You ain't gonna just drive. I mean, come on. Let's stop acting like we don't understand basic logic.
I just don't know. When I say he mastered, I don't know if he can mix them together. Like,
but even still, yeah, you're right. And I kind of go on Kishimoto. Come on, dog. Come on. But even still, even if he can only use individually, still, you're on that level. Because no one else, outside of, like you said, those with the Rinnegan are able to do that. And look, if I just went from that alone, you can bring up the wood clone. I mean, you know, the wood style. You can bring up because people bring up Hashirama, okay? You can bring up all that. But when the dude is so versatile, so diverse, that's like, come on, dog. How do you compete with that? Really?
Let me say this, bro, because people, I know the 1,000 Hands thing was huge. It made the Nine-Tails with the perfect Susanoo look like a puppy. My thing is this. I'm not a Minato fanboy, even though he's my favorite character.
Right.
But if he scatters those kunai, and they just so happen to hit the thing, he's not gonna miss the giant thing because that thing's too big.
Yeah, because it's too big.
If he just happens to scatter all his kunai, I'm just gonna go on a limb and say, first off, his intellect, he's gonna find a way to get around that. I'm not saying he can, but he probably will. But second off, I don't see how you can touch him. He was never touched until he fought a 10,000 Jinchuriki. He was never
battle against another fast dude, Toby Rama, and then you got Haruzen Sarutobi. Different types of fight. How do you think each of those fights are going down?
Well, with Hashirama?
No. Since you talk about Minato possibly beating Hashirama, which is a strong possibility though with the case you presented. Because I'm sorry, I mean I don't know that Hashirama. See, here's the litmus test. Here's how you know Madara's on that too, because dudes throw, he beat Madara. I still think Toby Rama was involved in that fight.
It might come down to Sarutobi and Minato, and the only reason I'm probably gonna say this is because of this. You gotta take the front view for what it is. Hashirama is probably the strongest. but he's not intellectually the smartest.
Yes. Yes.
Tobirama is probably the smartest out of all of them, but he's not as strong as most of them are. Hiruzen, he's balanced. The fourth Okage, he's balanced. I think the balanced ones will probably succeed. It's gonna be harder for them to take out Hashirama because he is in fact probably the strongest out of the four. But if they get past Hashirama, I think Tobirama, in terms of intellect, his skills aren't probably on par with how smart he is. Even though he made a whole bunch of jutsus, I think that's more towards his intellect than what his powers are. So I think that it's probably going to come down to Sarutobi in the fourth.
See, with Tobirama though, he's on that level with his brother and Madara in terms of power, and I say that because what Madara basically said, he implied basically when he beat Tobirama, he's like, hey, whether it be a miracle from God or or it's just fate, my power exceeds you brothers. There's a reason y'all can't bring out y'all full power. There's a gulf between us now. Meaning, if there's a gulf between them now, they were at the same level at that time. And Tobirama,
right,
he could create oceans with no water around. Like, yo, Tobirama's his power is on that level with them. I would say it's just Hashirama. I say in terms of raw power, yeah, he got everybody. That's not even a question. Raw power, but overall, like Ed was saying, overall, I think that's really all he had. He has metallic regeneration. I give him that, but I don't know how long that can last. You know what I'm saying? We don't know the limitations of how long that can last.
I mean, is it? And here's the position: is it greater than Tsunade's?
Yeah.
If it's not greater than Tsunade's, you're gonna have a boatload of problem.
I don't see the thing with what Dre said. I don't know if necessarily Tobirama was on par. I think he was near them. I don't know what the level. I don't know if he was necessarily on par with them, but I think he was near them in terms of power. Because I think he's the smartest. I think intellect. There's a difference between the intellect and strength. He could be smart enough to combat them and win, but he doesn't necessarily have to be as strong as them to win. Like he doesn't have to be as strong, but intellectually he's above them intellectually, so he might win because of that. I don't know about power though.
Well, the reason I say power is because Madara and his little brother were equal in power, and Tobirama beat his little brother, and this was I'm talking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, power, but then again that comes in the whole fighting genius aspect. But but yeah, in power I feel you. But when at what age did he fight him though?
When he was a kid.
They were they weren't kids, because they both had Mangekyo Sharingan at this time. Like they were the leaders of their clan at the time when Madara when he beat him.
They had been come in.
So they was pretty. I wouldn't say they were more than they was in their early 20s probably.
Okay.
Maybe even late teens, but that's still he didn't progress that much after that. I mean, in terms of Madara, outside of getting EMS, which is the same text as MS, you know what I'm saying? He didn't progress really. So I just look at, in terms of raw power, I think they're pretty close. I just think Hashirama, the whole wood style stuff, Kishi was giving him, I don't know how to describe it. He's just giving him all these gigantic jutsus, for what?
Those are great. See, here's you've talked about this, Fire Fist, and we've had this discussion. Size, good and bad. Good in the fact is, if you ain't got speed, if you ain't skilled, you're screwed.
Let's be all three of them have speed.
Exactly. So
Tobirama and Minato.
It actually backfires on you.
Who's the slowest? Sarutobi?
I would say Sarutobi's probably the slowest.
Probably slow. I guarantee he ain't no snail or sloth.
No. He's not a snail. He's just the slowest.
So since they're all fast, all highly skilled, all have different levels of intelligence that is beyond stupid, now Hashirama has problems. Boatloads of problems. Because now they can use that his own weapon against him. Okay? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, Hiruzen, he just destroys that. But let's be real. Fire, lightning, just can destroy the wood.
Destroy the what?
Destroy the wood style. I got fire and lightning. Wind probably could destroy it.
I think that's it. Look, the bottom line is this: it's gonna have to. I think it's gonna come down to Sarutobi in the fourth.
Yeah.
That's where I got it. And maybe if Sarutobi is able to catch him, but then even if he does catch him, then he has to do something strong enough to take him out. I don't know, cause that speed feat ain't no joke.
You talking about that speed feat, but we also don't know about that prime Sarutobi though, do we? Have we seen this dude work in his front? I'm trying to tell people.
Was Minato even in his prime when he died?
No, he was early 20s.
Yeah, he wasn't even like near. Like, well, he was near, but he wasn't like prime Minato. Like, he didn't get a chance to grow.
Yeah.
So, cause primes are like what, like late 20s, 30s, and 40s, right?
It depends, but it can for some it's like everybody's different.
30s, right?
The
average
I'll say
30s,
30s.
right?
It's about 30s to 40s. For some it comes from like 25 to about 55. That's about the max. 25 to 55 is generally your prime.
Yeah, so he wasn't like, he was barely scratching the surface in terms of prime. So maybe, yeah, prime Sarutobi could probably take him out. I'll probably go that far.
You have to think about this, bro. I think it's obvious that wood style release from Hashirama is somewhere similar to that of the God tree. And it's just not a coincidence that his wood style can absorb chakra, can suck chakra out just like the God. Nah, that ain't no coincidence. So I'm like, yo, let's be real. We seen all the Hokages casually, even Orochimaru, they all casually was destroying this wood style, bro. In the war, when Naruto got his chakra taken, and Sarutobi had to save him, Toriyama was destroying the wood style with his water release. It was like water style jet missile or something like that. Sarutobi was destroying it with Monkey King Enma, and Minato just wasn't being touched by it. He was just sitting there. He was like, yo, this ain't about to touch me. So it's like, yo, and Orochimaru was destroying it too, because he summoned all them snakes. Like, he didn't summon them, but you know them snakes that come out his sleeves?
Yeah.
He used that and like casually just destroyed it. So I was like, yo,
Orochimaru on that level. But how many kunai? I gotta ask y'all this, dog. How many kunai does
who knows?
Minato have?
Who knows?
Like, seriously, cause that, think about it, that's a serious issue, dude. I know he's fast.
If the man was never touched, he must be nice.
No, he's not.
I remember one scene. I don't know if this is filler, but I remember one scene where they were in like the woods, and if I'm not mistaken, he attacked somebody before. I think the kunai fell or some shit like that. Like, something was falling, and he was able to attack people and then come back before it hit the ground.
That was on, that wasn't fillers. That was when they were in that war, the third Great Shinobi War.
Yeah.
And even there's more feats, bro. The Raikage, bro, blitz Minato. His fist. Let me turn my camera on, bro. Cause his fist was this close to his face, and Minato threw the kunai up, and this man got out of there, bro. And Yo, come
You
on.
said the
bro.
third Raikage? Which
No,
you was fighting the third?
The fourth right. A.
Oh, I was about to say though.
His fist
I
was
need to
right
go back
there.
and watch that third.
His fist was right there in his face, cuz. And he just threw the kunai up so casually
But
and got out of it.
How fast is the fourth really though?
He's
Because I mean, he seems about more power than he is about speed.
Is he lightning fast or light fast?
he uses the lightning to enhance his already immense speed.
Because Sasuke, like, I don't know, man. Because I remember the Kage Summit and Sasuke putting in that work. You feel me? I don't know.
But see, Sasuke had the Sharingan, which allows you to like follow any movement. I don't know if it can. See, that's the thing though, because he couldn't follow. I think after a while you have to master the Sharingan,
right,
you know, for it to be on that level. And I think that's what he did.
The Sharingan is basically observation Haki.
Yeah. You have to get to a certain level of it to where you can see most attacks. But the Raikage, we've seen the only people to be able to dodge him outside of what Sasuke did was people that use instantaneous movement.
Okay.
Wasn't Killer B about to wax Sasuke?
No, he did wax him. He put a hole in his chest. Had that man on the ground, bro. I was like, yo, what's going on, cuz?
People sleep on Killer B.
Nah, he sucked, bro.
I watched that fight.
Nah, Killer B sucked, but he did put a hole in it. Yo, B garbage, bro. Like, yo, this dude is garbage, bro. I've never seen.
I'm sorry, but this is like the whole. Remember the words 1010? Everybody was saying word hashtag words 1010. It was the hashtag. It was the Killer B watch. Like, where the hell is Killer B?
It was a random painter nigga next to like a actor.
We know he's still alive. Where the hell is he? Because we know he ain't died. So where the hell is he?
He just came out of nowhere. We ain't seen this dude for 50 chapters, and then just randomly.
Kishimoto be forgetting about dudes. I really do. He's like, oh yeah, oh yeah.
He's like, yo, he can't do nothing right now. First off, this is why I say, well, I know it's against Obito, but this is why I say he sucked, bro. Like, this dude was the first perfect Jinchuriki, and he got, I don't know, bro. He got pinned down by Obito, like he sucked, bro. Like,
yeah, but at the same time, though, you know, I was about Obito's combat. I went back and was doing my research, cause it was a fan requested death match, right? It was my 13th one. It was Aizen Sosuke versus Ten Tails Jinchuriki, Uchiha Obito, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going back and I'm reading doing my research, and I'm like, damn. Obito is actually an expert fighter. Now, I don't have him fighting genius level, but he was actually an expert fighter. I'm not just talking about Kamui. Like, this dude could throw them hands.
Yeah, he could box. That's what I be trying to tell people. Like,
this dude ain't a scrub. Like, you don't go against Jinchuriki and like, win. let's just be real. You just don't go against Jinchuriki and win. Like, come on.
The fact that he was still waxing them after they found out what his jutsu was and that Kakashi could use all that certain stuff, he still was giving them work. Like, even after Kakashi was linking his Kamui with Obito's and distorting his, Obito was still waxing Bijou Mode Naruto, Guy, Kakashi, and B, bro. Casually. He wasn't even sweating, bro. Well, he sweated once.
And need I mention, one does not simply, I know you had the QB, but one does not simply have the confidence to just go in and wreck shop against a Hokage by the name of Namikaze Minato. Now, while I'm not a Minato fan, you know, I do recognize.
He did go in there. Yo, he said, you're dealing with me, bro. Minato. See, that's how fast he is, bro. He was halfway sucked in Kamui, bro. And he still got out. He was never, this dude was never touched in a fight, bro, until the 10 tells Jinchuriki, bro. Get out of here, bro.
Yo, Fireboy 16, I kind of sort of agree, but not really all the way. He said all I got to say is Naruto is legendary. and then he said, although I don't really like how every fight is decided by the level of jutsu you have, I like it more when it was more hand-to-hand combat.
Thank you. It should have been taijutsu, and I think Kishimoto's going back and learning from, because I was just saying this stuff this past week. I think Kishimoto is finally going back to the basics and like, damn, I screwed up. I tried to make these dudes 2 hacks and OP. What I need to go back is the freaking taijutsu, which should have been the main fighting style. For example, I mean, the Gaul versus Rock Lee fight, which is one of the greatest fights of all time in fiction. Then you had Uchiha Sasuke versus Uchiha Itachi. Like, I know it was genjutsu, but it didn't matter. The freaking shuriken tossing, the blade, like, them going in a bit of Chidori and stuff. It was phenomenal.
Yeah,
it was.
He is right though, because these jutsus, they kind of do take the ninja aspect out of Naruto lately. Like, that is a good point, Fireblood. Like, the jutsus do take the ninja aspect out of it, but I kind of like the jutsus though. But I understand what he means. We do need more hand-to-hand combat.
And there's no strategy. See, here's the thing. People, let me expose a myth, because this ties in. Okay, it's like the whole Dragon Ball thing. People say it was a bunch of ki blasts.
No,
that's not factual.
That's false.
That was a bunch of everything was martial arts. Every time, especially Goku.
The people who say that are probably under 15 and didn't actually see the series.
Oh, that ain't just them.
It's older people that say that. And let me just say one fight. Perfect Form Cell versus Goku. That was straight.
That's what I'm about to go
hand to hand, bro. Straight hand to hand, guys.
one or two attack. You know, you had the instant the solar flare. Back solar flare, dog. I'm just saying though. But another fight. Majin Vegeta versus Goku. Straight hand. Like that was there what, maybe two?
Since y'all brought that, let me just bring this up real quick, bro. People are still trying to debunk how fast Dragon Ball Z or even Dragon Ball characters move. Goku, there was an instance when Goku was fighting Tien for the first time in the finals, where Tien used Solar Flare. Goku had already went over there. Remember, Solar Flare is solely light, so it's moving at the speed of light. He went over there and got Roshi's glasses and put his sunglasses on. They was like, when'd you do that? And he was like, right before the Solar Flare hit, I went and got Master Roshi's glasses.
How can you even like argue their speed? They're training. The gravity training that they go through is 5 times. I don't know what anime put their gravity at. Like every anime, as far as I know, they don't have their gravities at these levels. Like they train.
Comics
like 500.
Not manga.
But it's the comic dudes. They sit there and say that could be easily debunked because we don't know if that was actually at the speed of light. I'm like, he's utilizing the sun, which is light.
Let's take it back. Hey, Firefist, let's go through the track record because okay, I bring up the position. I was like, you know, just going through things, and I came across one chapter. Krillin, this is early, when they were like 10, 12 years old. Krillin is running at 8 seconds at 100 meters. And then Master Roshi ran at like 5 seconds.
Let me say this. For even comic books, these dudes are training at gravity levels greater than it's greater than the Earth's gravity level. Like the dudes in comic books, the gravity level that they're fighting in isn't even as strong as what DBZ fighters were fighting in. So how can you even make that comparison? Like they were fast as hell. Like Krillin could be taking these dudes out.
Not all of them, but some of them, yeah.
Yeah, not all of them, but yeah.
I told you, Doug. I told him it's very simple. The fact in the first World Martial Arts Tournament when Krillin fought Master Roshi. Let me get this shit. I'm gonna get it and I'm gonna send y'all it, bro, because
I remember what the fight you're talking about too.
Yo, everybody just saw Krillin fall. They said start the match, and the next thing you know, Krillin fell. So everybody was like, "What happened?" Like nobody saw anything. And when Hiroshi was explaining it, yo, they was fighting. They fought a good little while during this time limit, bro. They even sat there and played rock paper scissors. Krillin tried to spit on Roshi, like they was going at it. And then he said this all happened in the matter of 1/5 of a second. I'm like, what? Yo, this is early Dragon Ball we talking about. This is the first martial arts tournament we saw.
let me go. Let me talk about how they dialed this up. Okay, let me begin with the Goku versus Frieza fight, and let me talk about this on a couple things. Because number one, let me bring this into comparison with Hunter x Hunter. And dude's not liking the narration in Hunter x Hunter, which I think is totally fugazi and flawed, and everything about that is just wrong.
Like Big
Hello.
E.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with the Hunter x Hunter thing, the narration I first of all loved it and was important because they were moving so damn fast. What happened in Dragon Ball is they had to add a lot of filler in at the time because Akira Toriyama was taking his sweet time, was dropping chapters, but like 13-page chapters. Okay, so they had to extend it. At the same time though, that whole event took place in 5 minutes. Now you had King Kai and all of them saying they could not read these movements. Then later on, against Cell, same junk, and then against like these dudes were moving so fast. Like I before didn't totally buy that they were moving at necessarily speed of light. This is why I bring up transit speed versus fighting combat. It's the flip side of Superman. Superman moves fast but can't fight fast. He fights so slow. Goku, on the other hand, doesn't move that fast, but his combat speed is ridiculous. You can't refute that.
I've been saying that forever, and I went to all these different forums where the whole I don't really care about the whole Goku versus Superman thing. My thing is this, bro. If you're gonna try to slight Goku, like you can't just casually be denying what was stated. Birder said it himself. He said it when Goku. I have to get the actual Viz medium one, but from the chapters that I saw from all the different translations, pretty much said the same thing. When Goku got behind him, he was like, "Wait, how'd you get behind me, man? Without me noticing? I move faster than light itself. I'm the fastest being in the universe." And people was sitting there saying, "Yo, that don't mean nothing. He could just be saying that hyperbole or something." It's like, what is with all this hyperbole stuff? If the writer writes it in there.
But I haven't been shown, like you said, he could have, unless we started seeing how fast they fight with Frieza and Goku. Like, it was 5 minutes.
Yo.
And the amount of combat that these dudes had.
If Goku
like,
goes Super Saiyan, he's beating Superman.
No. I won't say it like that, because Superman's durability is ridiculous as hell.
Right. Maybe Super Saiyan 3.
Super Saiyan 3, that's not even a contest. Dudes don't, because I don't use Silver Age. I use the most consistent Superman besides Golden Age, which is modern era Superman, not this new 52 BS, because I don't respect new 52, period, the whole concept. No, the modern era is the most consistent, and it's the most showcased, okay? The Silver Age was they all over the place, so OP in hacks, it made no sense. The Bronze Age was dialed down, but they were still too damn inconsistent. They were doing all other stuff. When you go by Modern Age, but even throughout the history, you see the L's that Superman has taken. Mongol, Metallo, okay, Lex Luthor. Need I continue? Brainiac.
Yo, even with all that, let me give you a feat, bro. Just for Goku, bro. Because I feel like I got to defend this man, bro. And I'm not no anime fanatic like this, but when you try to slight a character because you love another character, that's whack, bro. So, yeah. Goku, bro. A feat in itself, shown in manga, in volume 40, what was it? I forgot what volume it was, but they were writing Saga, Frieza Saga, whatever. And they wrote in the column, it was basically like, and Goku travels around to the other side of planet Namek to fight Frieza. People don't understand when he got out that little chamber thing that Vegeta put him in to heal, he was on the other side of the planet. Vegeta was about to get killed by Frieza on the other side of the planet. Goku said, "Okay, it's not that far." They don't understand he got to the other side of the planet in less than a second, bro.
When they showcase, okay, let me deal with things. Number one, let me deal with that screw attack did. This is why
Yo, don't bring that
they
up.
tried to use freaking the snake way. Let me not even get on that. I mean, even though they don't normally fly a lot of times. And when they travel, because one thing, I don't know if it was just anime filler or whatever, it said they traveled at 8,000 like that's them just cruising. Like they were just cruising to battles and stuff. They were trying to conserve energy. What concept? These are martial artists. I don't understand why people don't understand this concept. It's basic. But again, most people don't understand fighting perspective. Most people don't understand literary perspective. So I guess I shouldn't be shocked.
Most people didn't go to college.
Oh, it's not. You have to go to college, man, to understand this basic logic. Like, come on, man.
2014, you do.
Like I understand. When I was a kid, I understood this. Like, come on. This is so sad. It's like, let me throw this example in. Like, dude said that they had a problem with 4Kids. Like, I didn't remember all the nonsense that 4Kids Dub did with One Piece, but I remember when I was a kid and I watched this, I recognized it was greatness. Like instantly, Monkey D. Luffy. I had seen so much and read so much fiction, so many comic book superheroes and so many cartoons. I saw Luffy, for example. I'm like, yo, this is unique. This is greatness. When in Dragon Ball, this is, it's different shows. That was my experience. Like I just knew. It's like you should know, but that's what happens when a lot of these dudes, they just got into anime and manga. Okay, a lot of dudes only read anime and manga. I'm not knocking it, but come on, dog.
Read anime and manga. Pick up a book, man.
Thank you.
I'm looking at these comments, bro. First off, Ed, why haven't you blocked Anime Super Dude and Sean, bro? You know these dudes are trolling, bro, because they do not like Naruto, bro.
What? Since the theory was like, what was so bad about Naruto? Now, I have been called. Here's funny, right? I've been called from a Naruto hater, apparently by multiple people in the past, right? And on one of my videos I did, a Naruto review, because I said I think it was when I said the second chapter Kage was in, I called it amazing. It was 9.5, it was almost perfect. I said, I was even, and I did clear up the situation, but I would, or in relation to that, I was called a Naruto fanboy or something like that. I'm like, wait, what? How do people go from call me and then one person called me a Naruto? I'm like, wait, what? This is the fan. What kind of fandom is this, dog? Like, what?
My thing with the Naruto thing, bro, I don't mind if you have an opinion about something.
Yeah.
When I've heard numerous people, because I seen Northside's comment on one of the co-providers' videos saying this is the greatest review ever, yada yada yada.
Oh yeah. Cole be making jokes and junk though. Let's be real.
No. I mean, when you tell somebody if you actually like this, then you must be illiterate, or if you actually like this, you must be stupid, or something like this.
Yeah, that's doing too much.
Yeah, it's like, yo.
I've heard that One Piece as well. I've heard that about a lot of things. I have to bring it up because, oh my gosh, if dudes, because where Toriko's at now, dog.
One of the 8 kings, bro.
Let me stop on Heracles, though.
How is liking Naruto make you illiterate?
That's what
I don't. Wow.
And that's the only problem I have with certain people. Like a Cole, or they say you're dumb if you like it, or how can you like it?
See, here's the thing with people be going too seriously about Code, though, honestly. Because Code was one of the first people I watched, okay? One of the first reviews, like the first 5 or so, right? Most of his junk is not meant to be taken seriously. That's what people are like, oh my gosh. People are literally, like he even says it himself. Most of this is not meant to be taken seriously. He even said he doesn't like he likes Naruto, but he's not like a massive fan of it. I don't.
No, he's not a fan of Naruto. don't give me that. He's a fan of Naruto, bro.
I never said he was a fan. I just said.
You just said that he said that.
I'm not saying he's a fan. I'm just going with what he said. Okay.
He's lying to our faces if he's really adamantly saying that he's a fan. Bro. It don't matter if he's a fan or not. It's just the fact that what he says when he says this story is garbage. I don't think you're a fan. If you think the story is garbage, that's on you. Like, I have nothing against that.
You know what my observation is about all this? If you truly don't care about anything, about a certain specific thing, then you wouldn't be talking about it.
That's what I'm saying. He does though.
Even haters, you can take hate as love, because if the person hates you that much, they shouldn't even be talking to you.
That's what I'm saying. People don't truly hate, because I know hatred.
Yeah, like if you really don't like Naruto, then you would never speak of it again.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
And
that's
what
I'm trying to tell people.
And that's what I've been thinking, bro. It's like, yo, you like it, bro. You like don't sit here and but then that brings into question, why are you doing this in the first place?
Yeah, like I don't understand.
Yeah,
it started off okay. Let me take it back. He started off with Naruto reviews way back. I mean, I think even before One Piece reviews, to be honest with you. So it ain't like he just been like people say, oh, he about the money. No, he been with it. It's not. But you know what I'm saying?
This is my thing. You obviously care about it more than what you trying to lead on, because there's this excuse now. Now everybody's using this excuse. I'm only watching it not because I like it. It's because I want to see how it ends. Why do you care how it ends if you don't like it?
The series. Like King of Lightning, doggone drop Fairy Tail. He's like, no, dog, screw this. Deuces.
Just go ahead and drop it and wait till the story's over and then see how it ended. You ain't got to read through it to see how it ends.
Right. Exactly.
Like this shows that I didn't really like them, so I just dropped it. I never talked about it again. If you don't like it, just don't talk about it.
Yeah, it's nothing to talk about. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, chill. I never dropped Pokemon.
No, I'm saying for myself. I talk about because there's aspects that I like, but you know I ain't watched it yet. I
like the movies of
I fell off after the original series. Like all the other sub series, like some of them were cool, but I don't watch them.
I stopped watching after the last one I watched was the whole Diamond and Pearl one, and I was like, yo, this mother whack. I think that's why I don't like Diamond and Pearl, because that movie was whack.
The point where Ash is still the same age.
Yeah, I was like, all right, bro.
I told dudes the other day, I'm like, what really, like, never again will I even attempt to watch a Pokemon episode. It was this one where they were in the desert, and we were laughing at Brock and stuff, right? But anyways, so they in the middle, this beginning of the episode, like I was in the doctor's office. This was a few years back. You know, some kids were up in there, and they were, had it on for the kids, right? And I'm like, it's been a while, even though I don't like Pokemon, I don't like the anime. Let me try this out, right? They're in the middle of the desert, and it's like Hippodrive. I forget what it was, but it shows up. And before the Pokédex says, somehow Brock, of all people, somehow knows what it is. I'm like, you know what? No, I'm done. Brock!
But he's a rock type specialist. he's a rock master, bro.
He started giving all the stats before the Pokédex. I'm like, wait. All these stats, somehow you magically know.
I mean, but you got to think about it. If you're a rock master, like he's a master, bro, in terms of rock Pokemon. I'm not saying how he knew them just off the top of the dome, but if you study, he's a breeder. He's a Pokemon breeder, though. That's what he wanted to be. So I think that may have been something to do, but it is kind of whack, bro, that before Ash pulled out the Pokédex, bro, like
not only was it in detail, this was supposed to be like it was an evolved version, because I just recently looked it up. It was an evolved version. It was a rarer type. I'm like, wait, what? Wait,
it's
what?
Pokemon for me started to go downhill in terms of the anime during Battle Frontier. I started seeing it decline, and I was like, all right, they're following the same thing over and over again. Ash go, one of these, 2 or 3 of these gym leaders, he go lose to the first time, and then he go come back the next day, and some weird strategy. And I mean, Ash is a strategist though. I can't even lie, bro. He a strategist, bro. Like when he was fighting Gary, in the tournament, in one of them tournaments, and he burned the ground with Charizard because he knew Charizard couldn't beat Blastoise straight up, and he burned the ground, and I forgot what he did. That mug was dope though, bro. That strategy was nice, guys. Blast stories, bro. Hey, that's a beast Pokemon, bro. Blast stories.
We were talking about Pokemon. I think it was with Kiro and a few cats. But there was but y'all yo, take a guess who my favorite and Scyther's number 2. He got booted down, but take a guess who my favorite Pokemon is. And it should have ended with with a couple cats, but take a guess.
I mean,
of the original 150, 151.
Probably Mewtwo. Oh, dude.
Mewtwo, yo, this dude's design, he's yo, Mewtwo is the truth.
He could talk, cause like he a beast, bro.
Dude was too like his design. Sometimes you know a character is just badass. Like you know they on that level with his design. Like he had that. It's a little bit lower, but it's that level where Mariam's design. Okay, that design, dog. Like come on. It should have stopped with Mew. It should have been 150, and they should have capped it. Like after, and I think that's where I really just got fed up and lost interest with Pokemon, because after 100, because the whole original thing was gotta catch 'em all. Like after 150, really,
yo,
and
Johto
I mean,
was nasty. You sleep.
What'd you say?
Johto? You don't want to see Johto or Hoenn, bro? Blaze,
no, I'm not saying there wasn't ones afterwards. Because, I mean, there was Scissors, the evolved version of Scyther, but I'm not saying there wasn't beastly ones after. What I'm saying is, it's like, too much. You already had established legendary Zapdos. Yo, him and his.
Hey, Articuno was the best out of the 3, though.
Hey, I still say who's winning the fight? Zapdos.
Nah, Articuno smacking him, bro. Articuno, Moltres not even in the conversation because he sucks, bro. But
yeah, I mean, he's losing to Articuno just because that ice gonna be that fire. Let's just be real. And that fire ain't be that lightning, dude.
Nah, I think Zapdos has the advantage over both of them because he's lightning, and they both won. So, but yeah, we did divert to like Pokemon. How did we get on Pokemon?
Yeah, it's about that time in the industry. Y'all want to see our final thoughts on Naruto?
Or listen, I don't care.
I would say that it's a matter of you don't have to like the series. Like I mean, nobody's sitting here if somebody's trying to force you to say, "Yo, the series not that bad." Like if somebody don't like it, I'm not gonna sit here and say, "Yo, it ain't even that bad," cause you need to chill, bro. Like it's like, yo, if you don't like it, you don't like it. But if there's something you're saying, if your reasoning is something stupid or blasphemous that can easily be dispatched with facts, then I'm gonna do so. And if it deems me a fanboy that I have to bring facts, and that makes me a fanboy, then so be it.
You dub.
Like, you know, I could say many things about this whole topic. But to keep it brief, number one, because I'm actually technically a non-fan. I don't call myself a fan of Naruto because there's a lot of elements I don't like, but there's a lot that I do. So my thing is, I can respect a series or respect certain aspects about a series and not have to really be, like, come on, people. Like, can we please mature in these fandoms? Not only that, like Firefish brought up, please bring the logic, reason, facts, and evidence. Like, there's this whole movement of, opinions. Look, man, for me personally anyway, I don't, like, personal preference, I pay a little bit to. Opinions, I don't really give a damn. If you have logic and reason behind it, then it's going into views and viewpoints, which I can discuss with you. But opinions, I don't care. Like, I just don't care. Keep them, like just do what you do. But don't be trying to force me to like your opinion, because I will not. I don't care. That's my thing. Too many opinionated people.
Yo, listen, you there? Guess not. But but really, like, the only thing I really have to say is that, yeah, basically what Dre said. Like, if you don't like the series, then you don't like it. Yeah. But if you bring up a reasoning that makes no sense, then you have to get destroyed. It's very simple. You know, Naruto has enough fans for it to keep it going. Like it has its fans, and maybe I'm gonna make a One Piece video like next week or whatever, because I have some things to talk about with One Piece, and I know Dub is gonna be in that stream.
Depends on what time, man. Well, you already, yeah.
Well, you know, it's past 9 o'clock. You know, it's trap time.
What? Hey, quit trying. If that's the case, I wouldn't have been in most of these streams. Ooh.
I'm messing with you, bro.
His parole officer won't let him go on streams at 9.
Yeah, yo. Hey, you don't need to stop.